The coffee cup slipped from Marcus Whitfield's hand the moment he heard his own name called out across the crowded ballroom of the Hendricks Building in Charlotte, North Carolina. And for a man who had spent the last 3 years cleaning that very building's floors after midnight, being noticed by anyone in a suit felt like being caught somewhere he didn't belong. If a story about kindness, dignity, and the quiet power of a second chance moves something in you, take a moment right now to like this video, drop a comment below, share it with someone who needs a little hope today, and subscribe to the channel because we believe everyone deserves to be seen. Marcus had not planned on being in that ballroom at all. He was there at 6 in the morning, hours before the charity gala setup crew even arrived, mopping the marble floors the way he did every single night, invisible to the executives who rode the elevators past him without a glance. But the gala had run long the night before, and Richard Alden, the silver-haired CEO of Alden Technologies, had stayed behind in his office finishing paperwork, too proud and too stubborn to go home to an empty house. When Richard stepped out into the hallway near 2 in the morning, he found Marcus kneeling beside a little girl's drawing that had fallen from his bag, gently taping its torn corner back together like it was something precious. That drawing belonged to Marcus's 8-year-old daughter, Grace, a bright, curious child who had been drawing pictures of her father in a suit and tie ever since her mother passed away 2 years earlier, insisting that one day he would wear one to a real office instead of the gray uniform he wore to clean one. Richard, who had lost his own wife young and raised his daughter Charlotte mostly alone while building his company from nothing, felt something shift in his chest looking at that crumpled drawing. He asked Marcus to sit with him, and for the next hour, over vending machine coffee, Marcus spoke honestly about losing his job as a machinist when the plant closed, about nights he went without dinner so Grace wouldn't have to, and about the quiet shame of feeling like he'd failed at being the father his daughter believed he was. Richard didn't offer pity. He offered something Marcus hadn't expected: attention, and a promise that he would find a way to help, though Marcus assumed it was simply something powerful men said to make themselves feel better before forgetting by morning. Weeks passed, and Marcus kept mopping floors, kept folding Grace's drawings into his jacket pocket, kept believing in nothing but the two of them. Then came the gala, where Richard, standing at a podium in front of investors and reporters, spotted Marcus setting up folding chairs along the back wall and, with a warm grin, called out that Marcus's daughter needed a father like the men in this room: successful, secure, respected. The room chuckled awkwardly, unsure if it was a joke at Marcus's expense, and Marcus felt his face burn with humiliation as every eye turned toward him. But Richard's smile faded into something sincere, and he said that Grace already had exactly the father she needed: a man who worked through exhaustion, who taped torn drawings back together at 2 in the morning, who never once let his daughter go hungry in spirit even when the world gave him nothing. Richard announced, right there in front of the stunned crowd, that he was creating a new operations manager position at Alden Technologies, and that Marcus Whitfield had already earned it through 3 years of quiet, unwitnessed integrity. The ballroom fell into complete silence, then erupted into applause, and Marcus stood frozen, tears he couldn't stop finally falling as he thought of Grace's drawings coming true in a way neither of them had dared imagine. 6 months later, Grace stood proudly at a father-daughter breakfast at Marcus's new office, introducing her dad in his first real suit and tie to anyone who would listen, while Charlotte, Richard's own daughter, sat beside her, the two girls already fast friends. And Richard watched from across the room with the quiet satisfaction of a man who understood that true success was never just about what you build but who you lift up along the way. If this story touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like this video and leave a comment below. I would love to hear which part moved you most and whether you believe, like Marcus and Richard, that dignity and kindness can change a life in an instant. Before you go, share this story with someone who might need a reminder that hope is still out there, and subscribe so you never miss the next one. Thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes the smallest act of kindness becomes someone else's entire turning point.